Hey guys! So this channel is brand new. You may have seen me around before, but we're back with a kind of better setup. Since I'm still trying to figure out the lighting and some stuff like that, I'm going to start off this channel with a brush video. And this is I'm going to talk about a lot of brands of brushes, ones that are worth it, ones that aren't. So some high-end and some cheap. Buy them or don't. Some of these you might be really surprised, and this is my opinion. Your opinion might be different. They might be different on your skin type, if you take care of your brushes different than I do. So let's just get started. So before I start, I'll talk about how I take care of my brushes, just because this does affect the longevity of a brush. So if you do it different, yours might last longer or they might not last as long. I clean mine with baby shampoo. I just put it in like a little Tupperware with some warm water, some baby shampoo, and then I just kind of swirl the brush in it and clean it. Kind of careful not to touch the metal part, but it happens. And that's pretty much all I do for that. So first off, I'm going to talk about a brand that a lot of people have heard of, but you don't hear much about their brushes, and that's Smashbox. The little pretty red ones you see at like Ulta and Sephora. Some of these brushes are great and some of them are okay. So I have quite a few right here. This one's a travel size. So first off, let's talk about the travel definer brush. I have the full size as well. The top's exactly the same, it's just the brush handle that's different. So this brush is really dense, and it's actually kind of big for a crease brush. If you can see, like, this is going to give you a really dark, thick line. So if you use this, it's okay to get color on, but you need to use like a different blending brush to blend it out, because this just picks up way too much product. So if you're looking for a crease brush, definitely not this. But this does work really good if you just put product like on the side for like the outer V, but it's, unless you're really good at makeup, this brush is not for you because it's not easy to use. Next is their angle eyebrow brush, and this thing is freaking amazing. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, this is my favorite eyebrow brush I've ever owned. I'll give you a little close up if I can. There we go. You can kind of see. It's really dense, and it's just, I got product on my hand. It's an awesome brush. I've never used an eyebrow brush I've liked as much. Like my Polidor one, which I used to use, had really short bristles. This has really long bristles, but they aren't like flimsy, which is what I find with eyebrow brushes. So this, totally worth it. And the last, or excuse me, two more. This is a tapered shadow brush. This brush is terrible. It doesn't pick up product. It doesn't blend. You can kind of see by the shape that it's like flat, like here. It's like a flat brush on the sides, and it looks like this on the front. Here's like a top view. So this brush doesn't do anything. Like, it's too dense to blend with. It's not dense enough to pick up a lot of powder. It's just a really pointless brush. And the last brush I have is a fan brush, and I love fan brushes for various reasons. This one I've been using to contour, but there's a comparable one that is way cheaper, because this was like a $30-something fan brush. And Kirkloin makes a brush set that I've had forever, and they make a fan brush. And it's literally identical. Let me get in the lineup. And I don't prefer one over the other. Actually, this might be softer. I might prefer this one. And like I said, I use these to contour to brush away product, and this one doesn't shed. Neither does that one. This is a great brush. So now we're kind of into crinkling. So their fan brush, you can't just buy one of their brushes. You have to buy the set. And over the years, my sets kind of disappeared, but I really do like them. The only other one that I still have is an eyeshadow brush, and this is one of my favorite blending brushes of all time. I don't know why, but it just puts color in your crease like so well. I customized mine a really long time ago with orange. They're just black brushes, but I literally have had these since I was like 11 or 12, so that's 6 or 7 years, and they are still in perfect shape. Like, I've washed them. These brushes hold up forever, and the whole set's like $35 or something. So if Kirkland still makes brushes, buy them. if their quality is still the same as it used to be, they're great brushes. So the next line of brushes I want to talk about is Studio Gear. Studio Gear brushes are really, really expensive. They're like the same price as MAC brushes. And I have 3 here for you guys today. So this is the Studio Gear number 35. It's like a tapered pencil brush, kind of. And I love this brush. Quality's great, doesn't shed, which is my thing. I hate when brushes shed. And it actually like has a point to it, which I like. This is great for like the outer V, if you're getting in your crease. It picks up a lot of product and it makes cheap eyeshadow look really good. I love this brush. I think it was a $35 brush, but totally worth it. Just because I've never even seen a brush like this, where it's like, I've never seen this shape, and I love it. So next I have from them is Studio Gear number 30. This is like a little, I guess it's an angled eyeliner brush, but not like where the brush is angled. It's an angle there. The brush is just a regular old eyeliner brush, and this is an awful eyeliner brush. I usually typically like where there's an angle there, but e.l.f. made one that I used to have where the bristles were a lot thinner and it was $3. This was a lot more than $3, and I can never get like my wings with it. They never look right. So this I only use if I'm smudging my eyeliner out after. Not worth it. So the last Studio Gear brush I have is a Studio Gear number 13, which is like a dense blush brush. It's way too dense to use with regular blush, like with my Tarte brushes or my Studio Gear blushes, like it's a no. It's really soft, and the only thing that I use this for is if I'm using a MAC mineralized skin finish as a blush, because it really makes them a lot more pigmented, like which is what I did today. I have Lust on. So if I use this through a mineralized skin finish, it makes them look like a blush, which is what I like this for. So overall, on the first brand I mentioned, which was Smashbox, for a buy it or don't, I say Smashbox is worth it, so I would go, if you want some nice brushes and have some money to spend, Smashbox is definitely worth it. So overall for Studio Gear, I would say these aren't worth what they cost. This one is the only one that I really like. All my other ones I've tried from them, I actually had a tapered stippling brush and I returned it. It shed so bad. So those Studio Gear is not so worth it. Yeah. The fourth brand of brushes that I'm going to talk about is MAC. And everyone goes crazy over MAC. I have 3 brushes that I pulled, and I'm going to be straight right up. MAC is not my favorite brushes, so just bear that in mind because some people are in love with them and are going to hate me for even mentioning this. So this is a MAC foundation brush. It's a 190. I hate this brush so much. The top has detached from the brush handle, and that happened before I even washed the brush. So, and I mean, I really have to be careful with it. Not only that, this brush, I've cleaned it. Every time I try to clean it, the product never comes out. And overall, it's just a foundation brush. It's so expensive, and it's not anything special. My, Kirkland foundation brush is equal to this. So, that's just me. So the other 2 brushes that I have. So the next one is a MAC 217. I actually really do like this 217, but I think the bristles are a little bit, after I've washed it, have gotten kind of dried out. They're not like as soft as when it was new. But I like the shape of this one. It's great for blending products out, putting them in the crease. You just have to be really careful, because if you don't shape your MAC brushes, like when you wash them, they get totally screwed up. But this one's okay. I don't mind that one. My next brush is a 242, which is like a flat brush. I use it for packing eyeshadow on. This brush is good. It's nothing special. I have other brushes that have come with makeup palettes that are equal to this. So, I don't mind it though. So overall, on MAC brushes, I give them a thumbs down. They're not worth it. They're okay brushes, but they're not spectacular, and they're really, really, really expensive. Another brand I like to talk about is e.l.f. because people go crazy because you can buy an e.l.f. brush for $1 or $3. So I've had some of the $3 brushes. I've had an eyeliner and some brow brushes, and the $3 ones are passable. You can use them, they don't last long, but for $3 you're good. I'm talking about the $1 brushes today. The only one that I still have is my bronzing brush. I used to have a powder brush and eye brushes, but this brush is awful, okay? I don't care if it's $1 or it's free or it's $100. This brush is not worth $1. I mean, it's worth $1, but you're getting what you're paying for. You're gonna have tacky blush. It puts way too much on. It's stiff, it's itchy. It is not a good bronzing brush to the slightest. So, and I've had bad experiences with e.l.f. $1 brushes. The powder brush used to shed a lot. My eyeliner brush, a lot of the times the metal detaches from the wood, which I don't really like. So overall, the $1 e.l.f. brushes, yes, they're worth $1, but they're not worth buying, essentially. So the last brand I'm going to talk about today is a brand you hear about on YouTube all the time, and they are the Real Techniques brushes. I don't remember which set this was, but it came with these 3 brushes exactly, and let me tell you about these brushes. So this brush is a multitask brush, it says. I use this for foundation. This is a great full coverage foundation brush. I use my Kat Von D foundation with this, and it's a little dirty right now. Usually they're like really soft, but like this applies foundation like you don't even know. And this whole set was like $11 or something for these 3. This brush was awesome, and it cleans up good, and this is like my favorite go-to foundation brush. The next one it comes with is actually a foundation brush, and I don't use it for foundation because it's actually really small. Like, I'll compare it to the MAC. Here's the MAC, here's the Real Techniques. It's a really small foundation brush. So I use this for concealer, and it's a great concealer brush because, you know, most of the time you get those little ones, which I like the little ones, but for like under your eyes, this is like the perfect size, and it's awesome, and I love it. The third one you get is a domed shadow brush. I'm not crazy about this brush. It's really similar to this Smashbox one I showed you. They have a really similar shape. This is a little fluffier, but it's also denser. So I use this to highlight like down my nose or my Cupid's bow, but I don't use this on my eyes. It's too big for my eyes. Like, it's way too big for me, and it's too dense. So I use pretty much this set, which was like an essentials set, I use for my face only. And this works good for concealer too, if you would like to blend your concealer. But overall, any Real Techniques brush that I've ever tried or anyone's ever talked about is a definite yes buy. It's worth it. These are probably the best cheap brushes you can buy. They're not as cheap as like e.l.f. or, you know, whatever, but they're like great for what they are. You're gonna get a lot of brushes and they're gonna be really nice, and they wash up, they don't shed. These are probably the best brushes that I own. Well, they're my big 3 go-to, especially for the cost. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope this helped you decide if you need to go buy new brushes, because once every like 5 years or so I'll kind of throw out all my brushes and get new ones. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and leave comments in the down bar if you guys have any questions about anything, if you want a more in-depth review about like I only showed you some of the brushes that I have. If you want to see all the ones I have, or if you guys want anything, if you see a product on TV, leave it in the comments. I always need video ideas. Anyway, I'm gonna go, but I'll see you guys later. Bye!